Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Awakened Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. If you're new to me, new to my show, new to my channel on YouTube, please do subscribe so you can take advantage of all the current shows, all the previous shows, all the shows coming up. It is my deepest wish, desire, and intention to bring to you these amazing, wonderful speakers who are sharing their wisdom, their teachings, their experiences, their processes, their healings, their clearings, their mini readings, etc., so that we can all thrive, so that we can all awaken to happiness now. And so today, my dear friend Vinolan Ponnan is back with us. We're going to be talking about DragonHeart Reiki healing and attunement. And so some of what we're going to discuss is we're going to talk about frequency. What is it? Why is it important? What is a light worker? Why be a light worker? What are you choosing to be? What is DragonHeart Reiki? And Vinolan will be doing some mini readings live on the call and will empower us with a mini healing attunement. So all that and more, of course. And for those of you who may not know Vinolan, he's been with us a few times now. He is a multidimensional facilitator and holder of space. And in the early 2000s, he was initiated into the Usui Tibetan method of Reiki, like so many of us. With his growing interest in spirituality, he expanded his tool set to include EFT, grace healing, infinity healing, light language, and holographic principles. And he currently works with his team of divine workers that includes his soul aspects to clear detrimental energies as well as bring in appropriate light body upgrades. So we're going to talk a little bit to Vinolan about all of that and more. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Vinolan back to the show. And Vinolan, welcome.
Thank you, Shefali, and hello to everyone. Hope you're doing well.
Yes. And there is no April Fool's joke, no pranks, nothing like that. Oh my God, it's like, why did we do a show on April Fool's Day? But it just happened that way, April 1st. But I'm so glad that you're here. For me, it does feel spring is just around the corner. We had sunshine today. I slept today, last night. I think the energies for the past couple of days have been really strong. And for those of us who are sensitive to the energies, well, it can kind of, put us out by like not sleeping or feeling different energies, etc. And so there's a lot going on right now. So Vinolan, we're going to be talking about DragonHeart Reiki, DragonHeart Reiki healing. We're going to be doing or receiving an attunement as well. But first, I wanted to, if you could share with us a little bit about what has been going on with you, because I know we are receiving so many upgrades. So many more of our gifts are coming online, right, for us to use and support our communities with. So you wanted to share a little bit about some of the stuff that you've been working with and bringing in?
Yeah, I'd love to. So basically, that's what I'm going to be covering during the call. I think that's why I've decided to choose the topics that I wanted to talk about, because it's basically in everything that we are doing. It's everywhere. And I think at the forefront of everything is frequency. And that's why right at the top, I wanted to speak about it and why it's so important. So first of all,
okay. So before we get started, before we go further, do you have a external microphone or something? Because your sound is a little low, or is that just me? To me, it sounds like it's low. So, yeah. Or you can just talk louder.
Can you hear me now? Is that a bit better?
That's a bit better.
Shall I move closer to the mic?
That's even better. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
But yeah, so let's get into it. Frequency, why is it important, and what is frequency? So frequency is a rate at which you are vibrating. Positive emotions will lead you to a higher or faster vibration, and negative or stuck emotions would lead you to a lower or slower kind of vibration. So the higher your vibration is, the more light you're able to move through you, through your energetic field, through your physical body, and therefore you're able to influence things much more easier in a positive way. So that's why frequency is it's important. Because if you're not influencing your frequency is being influenced without your knowledge. Okay. At all times, I'm sure many of you are aware of like right now, currently, we are bombarded with plenty of different frequencies at any given time from all different sources. So you get different frequencies from other people, you get frequencies from social media, you get frequencies from your entertainment, microwaves, radios, and all of those kinds of things, especially electromagnetic fields, because we are constantly, with our technology, we are constantly surrounded by cell phone towers, fluorescent lights, for example. So all of those different frequencies, they have an effect on you, all right? So the good news is that you can clear these frequencies by using your intent, by being aware of it, and being aware that this is what you want to clear. And once you clear these frequencies, you then allow yourself to be shielded. You create a shield with the divine light, with your imagination, using your intent, and it works wonderfully.
Awesome. And I think most people don't think about these other frequencies on a regular basis, right? We just think about the frequencies that we are downloading from our guides, our source, creator, all that kind of stuff. We think about those, but we don't really pay too much attention to the other frequencies in our environment, right? Am I right?
100%.
Yeah, but and sometimes we forget that they I think we know at some level, but in our everyday life as we're going through it, we don't put any attention on it. So we don't recognize that that could also be affecting us, and it's not just uh the cosmic energies, etc. So I don't know. I'm just getting an aha around that for myself. So maybe there are other people as well who are getting an aha. And of course, there are devices, etc., that you can use to help with that. But like you said, it's also your own intention, right? Which I think is also really important. Is that we are powerful beings in our own right, and if we just are able to focus a little bit and use our intention, we can also clear some of those detrimental energies ourselves instead of being at the effect of them.
Yes, 100%. I totally agree with you. And that's very, very important. I think people are under the misconception that to influence reality can take a very, very long time. Reality can be influenced in a matter of seconds or a couple of minutes. It just depends on how clear your intention is and that you're willing to actually make the intention to shift the reality around you. And you will notice the feeling around yourself, you'll notice feeling within yourself as soon as you shift these energies. And like I said, it just takes a couple of seconds or perhaps even a minute or so. It is not difficult. What is required is for you to be willing to set the intention, to step up, to own your power, to say, this is my intention, this is what I want. And then you let it go and you allow the magic to happen.
Yes, but unfortunately, a lot of us have been conditioned to believe that we are not powerful and we don't have those skills or those talents or those abilities to do that for ourselves. And even sometimes our own, like, our conditioning and our programming that we have received throughout our lifetime makes some of us feel that we're not capable of doing that kind of stuff.
Yes, but that's where all of the magic happens. It is that journey that we travel to the true nature of who we truly are. And along that journey, we will get the doubt. We will get the beliefs that we inherit from someone else, whether it's from our ancestors, whether it's from our parents, whether it's from social media, whatever it is. But part of the journey, what makes living on the planet so beautiful is that you can work through these so you can transcend it and then realize how powerful you are. Because essentially, we are divine source incarnate beings here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that alone is a great reminder for all of us, especially when we are feeling that sometimes the world is crashing around us, or there are so many things happening in our life, our environment, our situations that we don't feel like we have control over it, right? And then we just feel like we're stuck and not able to change anything. So we're not really creating, we're just somehow barely managing, right?
Yes, Look, you're right. I mean, I've also been there. But I think this is also why it's kind of critical now at this point in our lives to actually become a light worker. And that will lead me to my next kind of subtopic as to why you should be a light worker. So basically, being a light worker is a form of contribution to reality as a whole, right? So reality being all that is. As a light worker, you anchor and ground in divine frequencies. So from another dimension where source, God, universe resides, whichever term you want to use, to bring it all the way into the 3D plane with the highest frequency that you can. So you literally become a beacon that shines light. I'm sure you've come across some people in your life where they look so bright. There's so much of energy. There's something that you can't quite explain. And just being in their presence kind of puts you into a happy state, if you will. That person is essentially shining divine light through them, through their energy field, and it is radiating out not just into you, but into wherever they place their physical body. It is their presence, it is who they are, and it is also who you are. All we got to do is kind of just remove the shadows that's in our way so that we can truly be that divine light. And once you own this, once you embody this, your light can dispel a lot of low frequencies in your life and the life of others simply by just being truly who you are. And once again, going back to who you are, which is a divine source incarnate being. So in life, we get to choose a lot of things. Okay. And one of the things that we get to choose is our thoughts. Although we don't always choose it, the choice to think what we want to think is always there. And as humans, we tend to adopt different labels for everything. Okay. So for a person, we can adopt a specific label. We can be a million different things to a million different people, all because of the million different labels that they have to you. But the most important label is the one that you are choosing for yourself. Okay. So at any given moment in time, are you choosing to label yourself? Because it is a choice. Are you choosing to label yourself as a victim? Are you choosing to label yourself as empowered? Are you truly choosing to label yourself as a source incarnate being so that you can allow your divine energy and your divine presence to actually flow through into all that is? So everything is about choices. Once again, it's your thoughts, it's your perceptions. So my challenge to you is at every moment to see the very best of who you are.
Okay. So, that's, I'm going to say that's easier said than done, right? So a lot of us know theoretically, conceptually, you know, who we are, what we are, etc. But then in our emotions, in our experiences, we don't have that feeling. So yes, I know I'm a divine source being of light. Yes, I know I'm all powerful. Yes, I know I can choose my reality. Yes, I know I can choose this, that, and the other thing. But then, life happens and none of that is remembered. Does that make sense? So
It
really what I'm getting at, I suppose, is how can we stay in that field longer and longer and more consistently where we are remembering that we are God source incarnate?
You stay in the field by practicing to stay in the field. Uh, as a source worker, as a light worker, as anyone on a spiritual path, you should be having a day-to-day kind of a daily ritual. And that ritual serves as a remembrance as to who you are. The ritual serves as an intention setting for who you're going to be for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month, for the rest of the year. But it has to be done consistently. Unfortunately, with certain things, you would say that there are no shortcuts, but it can be for as little as 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, or 5 minutes in the evening. It's your choice. Okay. Some people just do it once daily. The important thing is that you do it. You do it at a set time so that your brain, your body, and your energy system gets used to accessing these higher planes of existences of who you really are. So the long story short is you got to do the work. You got to put in the effort. And it takes 5 minutes. It literally can take 5 minutes. And we have a lot of minutes in the day. We have a lot of hours in the day. You can take 5 minutes. If I'm running late from going to work. Then at work, when I get to work, I take 5 minutes, I anchoring around myself, I clear the energy around my office and around the area. So it doesn't take a long time. But the thing is, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to make the effort to remember to do it because I find that it's actually very helpful in my life.
Absolutely. And again, it doesn't have to be hours and hours. It can be 5 minutes to start, right? So doing that inner work, that regular practice on a daily basis is going to help you to anchor in those frequencies, and that remembrance of who you are and that light of who you are, regularly and consistently, and that will help you to, I guess, be better prepared for what happens, in life, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because yeah, you get to shift, you get to change. Because remember, uh, if you look at your consciousness, if you look at your thoughts, a lot of your thoughts are just habits. Okay, it's habitual thinking. Your beliefs are just habitual thoughts that you think more often till it becomes really true for you. But you get to choose it. You get to choose different beliefs. And yes, sometimes it is difficult because you get to go back to old habits. But then that's why you bring in consistency. If you truly want something, you can get it. You just have to consistently apply your attention and your focus. And where you apply your attention and your focus is where energy is going to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as light workers, which we all are, because we are all working with light, we are all, I'm assuming this whole community, right? We are all, in service to Source, God, Creator, etc., in service to light and love, etc. So we are all light workers, and we're choosing to be a light worker, but that starts with us first, right? So we have to anchor in the light, bring in the light for us first, so that we can then radiate it out. It will radiate out automatically once we're bringing it in. Okay, so I totally agree. I like to play devil's advocate just because, so that we can ask, so I can ask those questions and get it out so that people can hear the information. But I'm totally on board. Um, so let's talk a little bit about DragonHeart Reiki. What is it? Where did it come from? How did you download it? And what is it used for?
Right. So, as you know, everyone, or most of the people started off with Usui Tibetan Reiki way back, probably about 20 or
Way
30
back
years
when.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that set a good foundation as to what energy healing is about. And basically, it helps to, well, heal people. It helps to transform people by adjusting the frequency uh, of the energy in their bodies. Okay, so that's basically the long story short. But I included Reiki in the modality, in the word, okay, but it's not a Sui Tibetan method. This is my own style of Reiki. So Reiki, because it's still the type of universal energy. So the way I came across this is because I was actually doing some astral traveling and visiting different other dimensions. And on one of the good days, I decided, okay, fine, let's see what this 6 months of vegetarianism was going to do for me to see how far I can go. So I just started going up and up and up. And eventually I kind of got to a kind of a sticky area, which is like the barriers of the matrix itself. So going through there and going a little bit more higher, I found myself into something that I call a source dimension. So it is a very, very high frequency. It is pure love, pure light. And what I have with my ability is that I can create portals. Okay, so I can access many different dimensions by creating portals to these dimensions and bringing in that kind of energies. And what's really interesting about the source dimension is in there's also a whole lot of other beings that I came across. And some of them I actually use as part of my team now, notably the 13 solar dragon kings. Very, very powerful beings. There were also gargoyles there. I don't really use them. I haven't interacted with them a lot, but yeah, it's a very, very nice frequency. And I channeled the frequency in the form of unconditional love. So that was the very basis of what I wanted this energy to be. Okay. So the next bit of energy that I brought through was channeled from the galactic core. So it was a violet flame. So this is not Saint Germain's violet flame. This is a bit different. This is coming from the galactic core. So it's basically the same thing, which is used to purify your energy and clear up any densities that you may have. Then about 20 years ago, I came across some technology for the man of, his name was Slim Sperling. All right. So he created tensor technology. I'm not sure if your viewers are familiar with it, but it is copper that is shaped in specific ways, but that is also cut in specific units. For example, the sacred cubit or the lost cubit. And what these energies do is when you make a coil or you make a ring from it, it generates certain frequencies that can be used to clear. So it also brings in a different frequency of light, which can be used to heal emotional and physical issues. So I also included some of these frequencies in there as well. So notably, excuse me, it's a 144 million hertz frequency, it's a 177 million hertz frequency, and the 188 million hertz frequency. And those works on your physical, emotional, and your spiritual aspects. And last but not least, we are calling it DragonHeart Reiki. So what's DragonHeart Reiki without some dragon energies in there? So in the same way that I was kind of going through all of these different planes of existences, I came across the dragon dimension as to what I call it. And there's some very high frequencies in there. It's a dimension of the highest love and light that I've come across in terms of where the dragons reside. So they were nice enough, because I did ask for permission, to allow for me to channel that energy into this modality as well. So basically, the DragonHeart Reiki is an expression of my journey to assist you in the expression of yours.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you. And yeah, so there's a lot of different energies and frequencies in the DragonHeart Reiki, and it can assist us on all levels and layers. And does it also help like with past lives, future lives, etc., as well as like our ancestral lineages, etc.?
Yes, you can help with all of that. All you got to do is direct it to where you want it to go. Okay, so at the very basis of it is how I created it, is when you were to focus on your hands, automatically portals will be created at your palms, and the energy will start to flow simply by you intending it to flow. And then whatever you mentally place within your hands, that's where the energy is going to go. So you can send energy to yourself, to your family, to the past, to yourselves. You just have to intend, and the energy will go there.
Simple. Simple but powerful at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so so today we are going to be receiving a mini healing attunement using the DragonHeart Reiki or something else.
So yeah, we will be sending the Reiki.
Okay.
And essentially you're going to be sending the Reiki. Well, everyone that's going to be here, it's going to be your viewers. What we're going to do is we're going to create something that I call holographic hands. So it's essentially the hands are going to be like gloves that fits over your own hands. And from there, you are then able to kind of channel the energy.
Awesome.
Just to give an idea as to what and how this feels like.
Awesome. So that's going to be in a little bit, but before that, we're going to be taking some live caller questions. Vinolan's going to be doing some mini readings. So what types of questions can you take, or do you want to take, or what types of questions can people ask?
Well, look, people can ask anything that they want, but I'm not like a psychic fortune teller that's going to tell you what and why this is happening. But I am able to kind of sense where the stuck energies are. So if there's an issue that we have, you can, sort of highlight it, and yeah, we'll see what we can see.
Yeah, so you receive intuitive guidance, and as well as your team giving you information for whatever the issue happens to be, right?
Yes.
But yes, we're not psychic, we're not fortune tellers. But if there's something that you have a question about, definitely raise your hand, or you can type your question in the chat. I know some people cannot come on live, so that's okay. So Tanya, you have a question for Vinolan? I always say Vinolan, but he also goes by Vin. I'm just like that. I always like to say the person's full name, but he also goes by Vin.
So, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Vin. Hello, Lara. My question is, I certainly felt lots of different energies flying lately in the air. And I don't say I'm feeling stuck because I don't think I'm stuck. But a lot of changes are going on. And I certainly feel like there are some, not resistance even, I don't know how to call it, but something in me, even though emotionally and consciously I am kind of happy and open to changes and to new beginnings, as I believe it is my way now, new beginnings in my life. But something in me still resisting. And if you could, I don't know, feel what it is that is resisting in me. I mean, I feel some resisting in, I don't know, subconscious probably, which it's a bit upsetting. Not upsetting, but I mean, it is just drives me nuts.
So
Okay.
That I still
resist.
resist. I change. Everything is changing, but I feel that a little part of me kind of being not active enough. That's what I mean. Finally, I found the right words.
Okay, so I think there's a couple of things that you need to focus on. One of the things is because of all the energies that's coming through, I feel that probably you could do some improvement with your shielding because you still are getting a lot of that information. I can see that your third eye is kind of open, but you're not really able or trying to discern what's going on because it's kind of overwhelming you. Okay. The other thing that I'm getting from my guides is that, look, the resistance is coming basically from a deep inner fear. All right. So the way I feel it and perceive it is as like blockages in your throat chakra, and the higher heart area. There's kind of a blockage there. So if you'd like for me to just give you a quick clearing on that one.
Yes, please.
All right. So notice your resistance. Notice your stuckness. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how resistant are you? So 10 being quite resistant, 0 being
About 4, 5, between 4 and 5, I would say.
Okay, so for this, I'm going to send you the DragonHeart Reiki. So just give me a sec, and we're just going to send the Reiki to you.
Appreciate it.
That is for your highest good, with the intention to clear that resistance. But first, we're going to go through the throat area. Then from there, it's filtering down there to the heart space, clearing that. And just replacing that with divine love. Okay, so take a deep breath in and exhale. Okay, so how do you feel now?
I feel sad.
Good. Where's the sadness located?
Sad is always here in my chest. Sadness, I mean.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much would it be?
5.
Okay, good. So we're sending DragonHeart Reiki to clear that up for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm also sending DragonHeart Reiki to, what's the word I'm looking for? Reestablish your connection with your spirit family, because I think that's a lot of sadness is coming there. So clear that out.
Thank you.
Raise the energy levels if you can see it. And what's going on? How's it feeling for you?
I'm feeling much better. It lifted. Yeah. I just wonder, because I just did clearance of my throat chakra not long ago. What can be closing your throat chakra? What can be blocking?
A lot of the time it's past life trauma. but
I
more
see.
specifically, yeah, but most of the time it's just fear of being yourself, fear of being and accepting your true gifts, you know,
Okay.
because we're concerned about judgment, we're concerned about what other people think about it. But the easiest ways to get rid of that is you either do energy work or you do emotional freedom technique tapping. So highly
Okay.
underrated emotional freedom technique.
I know. I love it.
Absolute wonders, but just target the right things. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate
Great,
it.
Tanya.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Feel better. Thank you.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. We're going to go to Simone. Simone, you want to unmute?
Yes. Sorry, I can't go with the video live. It doesn't want to.
That's
I
okay.
hope it works that way nonetheless. So
I think so.
for me, it's about, I have an illness, you know, with the gums. I think in the past, it definitely had a lot to do with what I had to suppress. It is going through the ancestral line. So I had done a lot of self-work in, let's say, where I dissed myself and judged myself, but it feels like there's something I can't see that is still kind of blocking the complete healing.
Mhm.
If you can look into what that is.
Okay, Simone. Yeah. So, hi, hello. Basically, what I'm getting is, look, it does seem to be some ancestral stuff as well, or ancestral past life issues that's coming through, but more consistent with anger issues and the need to kind of punish yourself. I don't know if that makes sense. But generally, people treat themselves very badly if they are angry with what they've done, and that's coming
Yeah,
quite
exactly. I
strongly
did that.
there. Yeah. So, where do you feel that? You said you're feeling it in your gums?
It is, my gums are acting up, but I
Mhm.
think it's connected with the third eye and the heart.
I do feel something in the third eye. Yeah, I do agree with that. I also find that they're showing me the sacral area as well. But we can do a quick
Yeah.
clearing for you, if that's okay.
I have to.
All right. So I'm just going to focus on your gums for a bit. So just take a deep breath in and exhale. And we're just going to send the DragonHeart Reiki to your gums. And first, I want to get into the crown area. That's what they're showing me, to actually remove their past life trauma in there. Okay, sending Reiki to the sacral area and solar plexus. And as meant and as appropriate, clearing any metal toxins in the body that is comfortable for your body, comfortable for you in that way. Thank you. You're also sending to relax your jaws. And just sending divine light and love into all of your cells in your gums. All right, Simone, how does it feel?
It's a mixture of that's coming out of joy and sadness. It's like I could really feel when you addressed the trauma. It really went through my body. It's like, ooh, wow. And it's a sadness of,
Yeah, I feel that the sadness is coming from this life. Sorry, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? You can just give me a ballpark figure.
50 something.
Okay, 50 something. That's cool. That's fine. I can work with that. Just give me a sec. Okay, so we're just gonna send some Reiki into like specific times in your life. So at 48 years, we're gonna send it there. 43 years, we're going to send it there. At 33 years, we're going to clear. At 22 years, we're going to clear. We're going to go all the way to 7 years old and clear there. Okay, how does it feel for you now?
It's amazing how you addressed the trauma, honestly, because I know the age, and I'm 52, honestly. I just couldn't think about my age. That's why I said 50 something. And it's really interesting because, you know, the age is a set is when something heavy happened and I couldn't really digest it, to be honest. And that, I would say, part of that is ancestral, because the thing with the gums is running through the female side of my family. So I think it fits for my own experience very well. Not that I like it, but and then what I feel is I'm starting to relax. I lived under so much pressure in all those times because of what happened when I grew up. And I didn't even know that until, let's say, about 2-3 years ago, when I finally addressed that stress, pressure, keeping myself safe, being cautious, especially of my own family. I didn't know that before.
Yeah, I think what you said there is very, very important. You addressed it. And that's how we get ahead in our lives, by addressing things, by taking that initiative. So I want to thank you for doing that. It's not easy all the time, but it has to be done.
It has to be done. And I think it's really looking at yourself really without any judgment is really important. I realized when I started doing that I treated others totally different than I treated myself. And it's, what's the difference? Honestly, I noticed there is no difference. So why am I treating myself that way? And with that, it started to shift. And all the parts of me that kind of were still in, let's say, in that place where I treated them, I could really finally relax and release that. And, well, it's been too much, honestly. It's been too much that I carried. Not only through others, but through myself.
Yes, kindness starts with yourself. And I think that's
Yes.
something that everyone should remember. Kindness starts with yourself. So, no, thank you, Simone.
Yeah, that's awesome, Simone. Thank you. Great wisdom. Absolutely. Love it. Anita's asking, what does dragon energy supposed to feel like? Or I'm going to say, what does DragonHeart Reiki? I don't know.
Well,
it's
yeah,
going to be different for each person.
It's going to be different for each person. But if people are open to it, then I can kind of give a demonstration as to what it feels like. For most people, it feels very, very hot. Very, very, not aggressive, but it's powerful. It is, it's quite dominant, but it's also very comforting and very loving as well. But yeah, it's a lot of intensity that comes through. So for this, I'm not going to bring in the DragonHeart Reiki. I'll bring in specifically the dragon energies. But just to give a comparison, let me see, what can we compare it to? All right, perfect. So let's work with some Arcturian energy, and that's okay. So everyone who wants to receive, you can take a deep breath in and exhale. And I'm just going to connect to the Arcturian family. Okay, I'm going to bring in that energy into everyone here as meant and as appropriate. And notice how this feels for you. Notice how it feels in your body. Some of you can feel kind of breezy, might even see that bluish energy coming through. Notice how your heart feels. As Arcturians, you bring in a lot of unconditional love. And you might even be able to feel your skin softening just with this energy alone. Okay, so I'm thanking them and we're cutting that off for now. And now I'm going to bring in dragon energy as meant and as appropriate. That is for your highest good. This connecting to the dragon dimension I mentioned before. And sending dragon energy that is for your highest good. Notice what this feels like. And I also have a dragon aspect myself. So I'm going to use that in my astral form and sending dragon fire to everyone here. Okay, take a deep breath in and exhale. And we will disconnect. So hopefully you felt the differences and you might have felt the heat coming with the dragons.
So Anita, did you feel the difference between the Arcturian energy and the dragon energy? Let us know. So for myself, I found that the Arcturian energy was a lot softer, a lot lighter, cooler. And then with the dragon energy, it was like I could feel the intensity right away. It was like it was a stark difference. And I felt it in more places as well. But yeah, definitely stronger for me, more intense for me, anyways. The dragon energy than the Arcturian energy.
Yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it. That's how it feels to me as well.
So, and yeah, I did feel my hands tingling. Thank you for mentioning that, Anita. It was about the same strong energy in my left hand. I also felt it mostly in my left hand as well. But that's great. As long as you felt something, that's all right. That's all that matters. And it's just about sometimes because I work with both Arcturians and dragons for a while, I can sense the difference. But if you've not worked with either of them, then you may not notice it. It might just be, the energy, right? So, oh, but yeah, definitely different. But they're both very effective. So there's no
There's no
one is
hierarchy
not
as
better than
such,
the
yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Paula said the Arcturian energy bathed me in softness. The dragon energy was much stronger, but not harsh. Yeah, exactly, Paula. Thank you. Okay, awesome. So we are going to be doing, gosh. So does anybody else have any other questions? Otherwise, we're going to go do the mini healing attunement. Do you want to do the mini healing attunement? Are you ready for that? Or, you know what? Before we do that, let's just go through the packages and then we'll do the healing attunement. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, give me just find my page. Hold on. Just gonna share my screen. Okay. So Vin has 3 packages. One is the DragonHeart Reiki Attunement, package A, and then package B is a 60-minute private healing session. And then package C is everything in package A, everything in package B, plus Dragon Armor Attunement and Light Language Activation. So we'll talk about all of those in a second. So the DragonHeart Reiki Attunement, we're not receiving that, like all of that today, right now, obviously. But you want to talk a little bit about what the DragonHeart Reiki Attunement looks like? For what people can expect when they purchase the package?
Oh, for the package. Yeah, look, essentially you're going to be sending the energy on the same level as I am, because the energy is moving through portals, and once again, the portals are activated by your awareness. So as it is there, the attunement comes through my oversoul, essentially. Okay, so it's with source, God, universe, my oversoul, calling members of your team, members of my team. I clear away any corrupted symbols or devices that you may have kind of picked up during your spiritual journey. Once that's cleared up, then I attune you to this using light language as well. And then you are able to give the energy to yourself and to others almost immediately.
Awesome. And so this is all done during a live Zoom? Is this like a group attunement or one-on-one?
So I've decided to do a one-on-one on these ones. It's going to be one-on-one. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. On Zoom. It'll be on Zoom.
Yeah.
So that's package A is the DragonHeart Reiki Attunement, one-on-one. And then package B is a 60-minute private healing session with Vin and his spirit team. And so yeah, a little bit about that. And then I'll share my thoughts as well.
So this is a session of me giving you Reiki, but my DragonHeart Reiki, but we got to focus on your body system. So your body is made up of many different systems: brain, skeletal system, nervous system, your organs, and all of those things. But along with the Reiki, what I do is I'm going to heal and clear stuff with my spirit team. So I've got many different beings that are part of my team, and essentially, as things show up or as they show things to me, I kind of direct them or to give an intention, specific intention to clear X, Y, and Z as we're guided through. So it's not just me that is kind of focusing on the Reiki. It's not just them that's giving me information. They are also able to work on you, kind of like psychic surgery in certain instances. So that's that. And yeah, the clearing of detrimental energies. I've included a few things, but obviously some other things may show up during the session. But it's your basics, your cords, your attachments, and your detrimental thought forms, as well as EMF radiation poisoning that we do pick up from our environment. That's also cleared. And of course, your one most pressing issue that you would like to work on. So the healing itself is initiated very quickly, but it continues throughout the session, because that's the good thing about the Reiki is that I can decide to send it for however long I want to, and you will be also tuned to do that as well. Should you choose that package? Yeah.
Awesome. And like what you did with Simone, going through the timeline and clearing different ages as well. That's also done during the session, right?
Yeah, that's also done during the session.
Yeah. So that's package B, and a payment plan is available. And then package C is everything in package A, which is the DragonHeart Reiki Attunement, plus the 60-minute personal healing session with Vin and his team. Plus, you also get Dragon Armor Attunement and Light Language Activations. So I forgot about those.
So the Dragon Armor Attunement, this is also channeled from my oversoul. Basically, it puts on your body like a kind of a skin. It is a sentient kind of a device, so that once it's on you, you are then able to tell it what it is that you want to do. Part of the attunement is that you can also ask it to send DragonHeart Reiki to whoever you want, including yourself, at specific time if you want. Now, what's really useful, though, what I like about it, and that's why I brought in the frequency and why it's so important, is that The attunement can also literally generate frequency fields of information. So like, for example, love, the tensor frequencies. It could also be used if people are familiar with grab avoid codes. You can tell the armor to activate or run this specific code for yourself, and you'll feel the difference and you'll feel it running. So how does it help you? It helps you by creating the field so that you can entrain to that information. And the longer you entrain to something, the more you become it. So that's how it kind of works. The light language activations, yeah, that's going to be obviously channeled through activating your spiritual gifts, activating abundance, activating sovereignty. So essentially, people have potentials in the energy fields as well as their physical bodies, kind of like on and off switches. Okay. And the codes, they switch on the stuff that you need and they switch off the stuff that you don't need. So that's kind of what that is in a nutshell.
And so this dragon armor attunement and the light language activations, are they done one-on-one in a Zoom or remotely, or what? How does that work?
This will be included in the session as well. So
Okay,
after
awesome.
after we've done the session, the attunement can happen.
Okay, awesome. So that's package C. And there's some wonderful testimonials and feedback from folks who have worked with Vin in the past. Please do check those out. There's a fuller bio as well. It's available here. So again, these 3 packages, if you're an Inner Circle member, please use your gift code. There are payment plans available for package B and C. So please do take advantage of these. And there's no like you're available to start doing these sessions starting like next week, right? There's no
Yeah.
delay.
Mhm.
Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. I just had a session with Vin the other day, and it was there was so much that happened. There was so much information that came through. There was so much clearing that happened, that I was surprised by all of the different things that him and his team brought through. So there's a lot that happens in that session. Depending on how sensitive you are, you'll feel more than somebody else maybe. But I love that the process of like going through the ages and clearing, because definitely that, it's like those traumas, sometimes we've forgotten what they were, or we were not even aware that there were traumas at those ages. But when the clearing happens, you can feel at that, like when he does it at that certain, you can feel it lifting, right? So there was that, and then the intuitive information from him and his guides as well, that comes through for some of your issues that's coming up. It's like, yeah, definitely spot on. So I really enjoyed the session, because you know how I am. I like transformation, right? So it's like, yep, definitely transformation can happen, can take place in those sessions. So it was powerful, strong, lighter at some parts, and then stronger at others. So it just depends on who you are and what you're going through and what kind of clearing you need, right? So, but yeah, definitely, I can definitely recommend Vin's sessions for sure. So please do take advantage of these packages if you want transformation and change, right? It's awesome. Thank you, Vin. All right, so now for the mini healing attunement, what do we need to do?
All right. So this is just going to be kind of feel as to what the DragonHeart process is about. So as I mentioned before, we're going to create some holographic hands. So it's like spirit hands, if you will, like ghost hands. Ooh. So that's going to be forming on your hands, and that's going to be channeling DragonHeart Reiki. Okay. So for everyone here, as mentioned, is appropriate. If you're ready, you can just take a deep breath in and exhale. And I want you to place your hands like how I've got it in front of me. You can open your eyes, but like you're holding a ball, okay? And I'm just going to set the intention to create the holographic hands in your hands. And I'm going to intend for the DragonHeart Reiki to flow through that now. And some of you may feel the energy starting to come through, starting to vibrate, your palms maybe getting a bit warmer. Now mentally place yourself in between your hands. And just state to yourself, this is where I am. And as you do this, you might almost immediately feel the energy on your skin starting to press through and come through. And as it radiates into your body, I want you to focus on your heart and send the energy into your heart space to feel more love. Notice how it feels, notice how it clears. Breathe in and exhale. Gently come back and open your eyes. Good. How does that feel for everyone?
I could take a nap now. I can definitely take a nap now. Wow, so I felt the energy in the back of my chest. So when we were sending to the heart chakra, I felt it in the back of my chest, definitely much more strongly. But even right now, I'm still feeling a lot of the energies. All so I could take a nap. It's like, so how's everybody? And I was yawning a lot through that process. So how's everybody doing? How are you feeling? You want to let us know in the chat. What did you experience? What did you feel? Cindy said I could definitely feel a vibration in both hands. Awesome. Good. And how did it feel for you when you put yourself, in the middle of your two hands and you were sending that healing energy to yourself? So that was like a self-healing, right? Anita says, I was seeing green. Awesome. Cool. Paula says, very nice. I could feel the energy pouring through my hands, still yawning and feeling the energy. Thank you. I heard myself say, it's okay to be loved. Oh, nice. Andrea says, absolutely beautiful. I saw golden liquid around my hands and forearms. I feel warm all over. Thank you both for this experience. Good, nice. Someone says, I feel like I'm hugged by a beloved friend. Oh, nice. Cindy says, also felt a lot of heat in the body and head. Yeah, same. I also felt a lot in the head for sure, too. Yeah, awesome. So that was a mini healing attunement in which you were able to give yourself healing, right? Andrew says, I'm still feeling energy movement. Yeah, same.
Oh yeah, it'll move. So
yeah,
for the next part, I want you guys, whoever has the water, okay, so you can either place your hands directly around the water or do the same process where you mentally place the water in between your hands. All right. So as soon as you're ready,
can I do like a big container of water? Like,
oh yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Honestly, the way I use it is I place the entire planet in between my hands and I send. So it's all how you imagine things, and that's going to direct where the energy is going to go through. So
okay, awesome.
So great. So just intend to send DragonHeart Reiki into the water. Okay, you can bless, heal, clear, and transmute any detrimental energies in the water. You're going to raise the energy in the life force in the water. And you're going to fill it up with the frequency of divine love, unconditional divine love. Okay, breathe in and exhale. And yeah, have a taste of the water. And you should be able to taste the difference there.
Yeah, I did this on Saturday, I guess it was, and I definitely felt there's a difference in the taste of the water from before to after we did that. So let us know in the chat. Drink some water. Let us know how it was for you. How different it tastes. If you can perceive it.
Mhm.
Someone's having tea and it feels soft. Nice.
Yeah.
And she says, yes, it tasted like sunlight was dancing across the water. My goodness, that's so sweet. I love that. And water feels more alive. Nice. Good. I like that.
Oh,
Awesome.
Great.
So you can do that, whenever you need to, or whenever you can, or whenever you remember. Anita says, I saw red during this channeling. Awesome. So you see different colors, Anita, right? Great. And how did the water taste if you have any water there, Anita? I'm also still yawning.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there was a question by Paula, from Paula, and she says, I wasn't going to ask a question, but wondering if Vin could give me guidance on what age my fear of being loved started.
Let's have a look. Look, the first age they kind of showed me was 3 years old. I just want to confirm. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. 3 years old.
Thank you so very much. I will look into that. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Paula.
Pleasure.
Good. And Anita says her water feels delicious. Good. Awesome. Glad you were able to tell the difference, right? And experience that. Good. Awesome. Anything else that we want to share today, Vin?
No, that's pretty much it. If everyone experienced it, I'm going to release the gloves now. That's okay. So I'm just going to clear that up. Return that back to source. Thank you. So here's the thing about clearing water or clearing anything or sending anything that you want. It starts with intention. Okay. And I specifically designed these frequencies so that it can be effective because I've worked with water for a long time, for example. But your intention is just as good without that, and that's what I want to stress. I really want to focus on people believing in themselves a lot more. So these tools, once again, is just my contribution so that it can help to assist you. But ultimately, I want people to start to, own their divinity, start to own their power. to be who they truly are.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Mm.
I love that. And that's the thing. It's like, you know, what if you can remember who you are, your divinity incarnate, right? And what that means for you, and start to just embody that and be that, that will radiate out of you the more that you believe that about yourself, right? Instead of believing the limiting beliefs and stories and all that stuff, which is not you, not you at your essence, at your core. So that's not to say it's not you, but it's not who you are at your essence and core. At your essence and core, you are divinity incarnate, right? And so that light that you are, once you can start to own that, be that, embody that, anchor that where you are, it will start to ripple out and make a transformation, not just for yourself, your family, your community, but the entire planet and the entire world, because your light is so much more powerful than all the other stuff that's out there, right? So we just have to keep remembering that, and we do that by doing a daily practice, having that intention, and being staying present in that source light, love, even, you know, even if it's 5 minutes a day, start with that and then keep going, right? So I love that. Thank you. It's a great it's a great remembrance that we all need from time to time, especially when we get bogged down in the 3D stuff, right? And stuff like that happens all the time. But we need that consistency and that remembrance and that presence in our lives, more and more, actually, right? So if you can take a few minutes and do that, if you can, you know, attune, you know, get the attunement for the DragonHeart Reiki, you can start practicing with that, playing with that, working with that. And the dragon armor, same thing, right? If you can start, you know, using that for yourself, and then of course for everybody else around you as well. So, you know, you start with you, and then automatically that helps everybody. That's the one thing that people don't get.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
beautiful.
but it is about starting with yourself, right? And of course, you know, once you embody that, anchor that, it just automatically radiates. Are there replays? Are there replays of what? Sorry, Linda? Recordings, you mean? Are there recordings of the like the session and things like that?
There will be, yeah, there will be a replay of the attunement. I don't do replays of the clearing sessions because I believe that when you clear something, you don't revisit it and then see what's been cleared in the recording, because of the energy patterns are still there. So
Yeah,
that one's I don't do, unfortunately. But
I
yeah,
agree
the
with that,
attunement
actually.
and the processes that what I'm going to be teaching you to do it, yeah, that will be recorded.
And you know, one thing you all have to remember, we all have to remember, that when you do get a healing or clearing or something by somebody, including yourself, it's like, believe it's done. So then you don't have to go revisit it. It's like you don't have to go back and say, okay, well, what was it that I was clearing? No. Because even if you have to have that thought, well, what was it? It's already gone. That's why you can't even remember it, right? So I always say, just, you know, know that it's done, feel that it's done, have the intention that it's done, and move forward. Right? Just move forward. Okay. Yeah, awesome. Good. But yes, thank you for that question, Linda. There will be recordings of the attunement class, and yeah, the attunement for in package A, and then the package C in package C, the dragon armor and the light language activations, I guess. Okay. Yeah, awesome. Good. Thank you. So I think we're good for today, Vin.
Yes, I think we are.
Yeah. So I will be sending the recordings out a little bit later today, so please stay tuned for that email, and then go back and watch and listen again. Receive, you know, the attunement again if you want. Do more self-healing for yourself. If you want, you can do the water clearing attunement as well, for like a different body of water if you want, right? Because I just did it for the container that's on our counter upstairs, but you know, and Neo's dog bowl and and then the sink where the water comes out. I did it for that. But if you want to do it for the whole planet, you know, like you can go do that as well. Again, okay? It's awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Vin. This was great. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks,
Good. I'm glad
Shefali,
you
and thank you
enjoyed
to
it,
everyone
Cindy.
as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrea. Yeah, it was beautiful. So thank you, sis. Until next time, everyone, we'll be back on tomorrow's one. We'll be back on Thursday, right? So until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all so much love and blessings. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.